It's not easy to make a go of it in the media business these days, even for legacy outlets like the New York Times and ESPN. Still, one veteran Boston reporter is betting that in this sports-crazed town, there's room for a startup that asks people to pay. When it comes to sports media, Boston is pretty crowded right now. There's the Globe and the Herald, WEEI and the Sports Hub, NESN, Comcast Sportsnet New England, ESPN Boston, the network affiliates, and that's before we get to online offerings like Barstool Sports.
That rat, Roger Goodell, in about an hour will be walking through these doors.
But abundance isn't stopping Greg Bedard. The former Globe and Sports Illustrated writer is launching a new outlet, Boston Sports Journal, promising hyperlocal coverage, plenty of interactivity, and no clickbait. But you'll have to buy a subscription to get it. WEEI's Kirk and Callahan think that's a tough sell.
What's everybody's the difference between what Bedard writes and what 50 other people write on the internet for free?
But over at the Sports Hub, the Globe's Dan Shaughnessy has been more optimistic about the paywall model, touting Bedard's skills and adding,
"This is evolution. People get their stuff differently now than they used to."
The Boston Sports Journal debuts on Monday. Play ball. Well, this guy has a great reputation. I mean, he's definitely got game, but I don't know. What do you think, Dan? This asking people to pay when you've got...
I think it's
although maybe he'll have the scores in the morning.
Well, I think it's a big ask. I mean, there may be some space for a free alternative to the Globe, which has excellent sports coverage, but a paid alternative, that's going to be tough. I would love to read Sean McAdam on the Red Sox, and he's going to be part of this venture. I don't think I'd pay extra to do it. Maybe people who are real sports junkies will pay. I certainly wish them well. It just seems like a steep hill here.
And it says interconnectivity. I don't know what that's going to be, too.
If you have a small number of people paying more, you can make it. So this is going to sound weird for me because I have no interest in this at all. But looking at my own habits, you know, there can be a billion free things out here of certain thing that I'm interested in. But if you got something behind the paywall that I happen to have a niche interest in, I will pay for it. So it really does depend on what the product is and how they're able to market it, I think. I've seen a lot of people go down into the toilet trying, but I think that's because their product wasn't unique enough, did not stand out from the crowd. So I don't know this guy. You all seem to think he's good. I don't know who else he has on his team. I'm going to say he maybe has a shot.
I mean, I don't know either, and not something I would probably subscribe to, but I totally agree with you, Callie. I think what we do know is that people will pay to get information about a hobby that they really love, no matter how niche it is, whether you do crochet or play guitar, whatever it is. If it's going to, and it's only $4.99, at least the introductory thing a month. That's, you know, a Starbucks cup of coffee. If you get big enough numbers, I think it's worth a shot. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make it. Hope he does. Yeah.
It's a coffee and a donut, a Dunkin' Donuts. Come with me next
Cumberland
time.
Farms, you get 3. Or
even cheaper, yeah. No, I wish them well. And I have a couple of pieces of constructive advice. Number one is, I find that I'm a rabid Boston sports fan, and when there's a big game, Celtics versus Wizards, Game 7, the game ends and I'm hyped up and I want to immediately read some. I don't care about the gibberish they're spouting in the locker room. I'd like to hear really interesting analysis and take on it right on the spot, within the hour. So if they can manage that in the wake of big games, there's a niche there. And also, around here, high school sports, perhaps even more than college, are a very big thing. They say they want to get hyperlocal. There might be an opening there. Not easy to do, because it is so hyperlocal. Does Malden care about Woburn? But if you can find the stories that really cut across geographic boundaries, maybe you can pile up some subscriptions there.
I think that sounds good.